Good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to be together. Please make room as much as you can. Come on up. Michaela and Yella, if you make room for everyone, and just get comfortable. As we get settled in, I want to raise up the glorious fact that we are in our 150th year anniversary of the congregation here. And it's just so special to think about. For 150 years, people have gathered in this community based in living out love, courage, and hope with one another. And this weekend is one of the top, most special times, because we have two very special friends visiting who've not been with us in worship here for 45 years. This is Robin Malevolin, who Robin was a child in this church up to 45 years ago. And her father over there is Reverend Dr. David Parke. And Robin and David are back to celebrate our 150th anniversary and reflect with us on where we've been and where we are and where we're going. And they're both new friends to me. So David and I have been talking on the phone for about 4 months. That's as long as we've really known each other. We had met each other in the hallway at conferences and stuff, but we have just struck up a brand new friendship, which really, I don't know if this reminds you of anything you've had, but it makes me feel like I've known them for about 30 years or more. Like we're old friends. So I'm saying we're old, new friends. New old friends. And one of us older than the other. One of us, you can guess which one. One of us has a lot more hair than the other. And Robin is an old new friend of mine too. And I just can't get enough of our time and our discussions. And, you know, I know you all know, and we all know, friendships matter. And I think sometimes the older we get, the more we realize that real friendships, they're very valuable in our lives. And so, you know, that happens. One of the things we do in church is remind ourselves of that fact and help ourselves be equipped to develop friendships. And they can happen in many places in our lives, including church. It's one of the reasons why I come back. Being there for each other and with each other like we are in this church, and people have been for 150 years, is a big deal. And we help each other, we inspire each other. We help each other remember what's important. So David and Robin have been inspiring me, and we had a potluck lunch yesterday where they shared some of their stories about how to stand up for what's right. When somebody or a group is not being treated fairly, they're reminding me, through telling their stories, that it's my job and our job to say, you know what? We can and should do better. So these two, along with many other people here, were a part of the civil rights movement in this church and in other places around America, where brown people and pink people, black people and white people, whatever, in different situations, some suffering more than others, meaning the brown people, stood up together and said, we have to change. And Dr. King was one of the key leaders, and Malcolm X was one of the key leaders, and many others. But there were leaders at the local levels, and Reverend David Parke was one of the leaders at the local level, being courageous. But you know, that can be tiring. So another thing that I look for in a friend is when you work for what's good and right, in a world which sometimes has so much lack of fairness. The world is not fair. And that's one thing I always try and tell the kids as the preacher. I wish I could tell you differently, but I can't. we have to learn how to deal. Life is unfair many times. And what we have to do is learn how to deal with that. We're never going to really make everything fair. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So one way is to enjoy life regardless, love life regardless. So Robin has been telling stories of that when she was a youth, she did sacred liturgical dance up and down the aisle in a worship service. She, at different dance parties here, learned the foxtrot and how to dance to Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 at dance parties at the Unitarian Society of Germantown. And they lived close to Carpenter Woods with all the beautiful trees and birds and squirrels. And they used to go out and play in the woods and enjoy life and nature. And we can all go do that in Philadelphia because we have wonderful public parks. And David, let me tell you something about him. If you see him with a bowl of oatmeal with blueberries and bananas, he is very excited. He loves life. He loves to interact with people. Wait till he meets you. You're going to see. He's enthusiastic. So those are some of the things my old new friends have been teaching me and reminding me and inspiring me to. And it's been happening here for 150 years, and we're part of that history going forward. And whoever walks in this door, who's new today? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do this. If you just raise your hand. Well, anyway, if somebody's newer today, okay, there was somebody. Nobody look. Don't embarrass them. Somebody's newer today, we can be inspired by them and they can be inspired by us because that's what we do here. And you all are a part of it. So I thank you for being new old friends of mine. And I encourage you to, everybody, welcome Robin and David. And we're going to sing you now off to your classes.